All right, we are looking at our verbs 6 and 7. All right, and so let's take a look at these auxiliary verbs, right? Auxiliary verbs help the verb, right? They're assisting the actual verb, right? So let's take a look. We just talked about the tenses. So here they go. You ready? We have can and will, would and could, may and might, must and have to, and should and ought to, right? So look, let's take a look. Let's just jump right in. You guys help me find the subject and predicate here. You ready? Who's got the chops for this? Bo, if you can help me, you can skedaddle on out for a second where you needed to go, right? You ready, Bo? You can help me with this one. Ready? She can come over today. Where's the subject in this one? Where's the subject, Bo? She can come over today. Who or what is this sentence about right now? She can come over today. Who are we talking about? Yeah, she, right? She is the subject. What about she? What about it? What can she do? That whole thing tells about the subject. So it's the predicate. Now, she can come over today, right? Where is the auxiliary verb? Right? She can come over today. Where's the verb? Yeah. Can, right? That's the auxiliary verb, Bo. Take a look before you skip out. Can is the auxiliary verb. It's helping the actual verb, which is actually what? What's the verb there? Come on, you guys. What is it? Elijah? Yeah. Come is the verb. Right? She can come over today. Right? Now, let's try the next one. Hold on. Remember that our auxiliary verbs are can, will, would, could, may, might, must, have to, should, and ought to. Right? So let's take a look. She would visit more if she lived closer. What is the subject of that sentence? What's the subject? Everyone should have their hands up right now. What's the subject? Who's the sentence about? Yes. She, absolutely. She is the subject, right? What about she? Give me the whole predicate. What is it? Yes. She would visit more often if she lived closer. Where is the auxiliary verb? What is the auxiliary verb there? What? Yeah, Zach. Would, yes. She would what? She would what? She would what? She would visit. Visit is the verb. Just like she, subject, right? She is the subject. What about she? Might return tomorrow. That's the whole predicate. Might is the auxiliary verb, right? And return is the actual verb. She might return. You, subject, must brush your teeth. Predicate. Must is the auxiliary verb. Brush is the actual verb. We is the subject. What about we? Well, we should go to the dentist every day. Should is your auxiliary verb. What's the actual verb? What's the actual verb? All right. So here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Okay? I want you tonight to do this. My grandmother can visit tomorrow. What is the subject in that sentence? Who or what is that sentence about? Yeah, Nadia. My grandmother is the subject. So you're going to draw a line between the subject and predicate and put an S above my grandmother because she's the subject. What about my grandmother? What about it? Yeah, now the hands are coming up. Blake. Tomorrow, right? All right. The auxiliary verb is going to be right after that subject. So what is the auxiliary verb? Can. Very good. Auxiliary verb, put AV above that. And where's the actual verb? Visit. All right, I want you guys to do 2, 3, and 4. Let's look at the bottom really quick. Bottom of this says, look, here's what they do. You ready? On the bottom, it says, read the sentence, underline the modal auxiliary. Then write a different modal auxiliary to change the meaning. All right, so let's do this first one. I'll do it for you. Ready? Sweetheart, you ready? You can do this with me. It says, Dad could go to the store on Friday or Saturday. So, Dad is the subject. What about Dad? What about it? Go to the store on Friday and Saturday. Good girl. Now, where did I tell you the auxiliary verb is going to end up? Right after the subject. So where is the auxiliary verb? Could. Auxiliary verb is could. What about could what? Could go, right? Right? Now we're going to change it. We're going to change could to something more possible. Could's more of a suggestion. We want it to be very necessary. So what do you think? Dad, what? Yes.
Can.
Ooh, Dad can, or what's another one? That's very likely is what they wanted, right? No, they wanted, how about Dad must? I like that one. Dad must. Where's the actual verb there? Dad must what? Go. Go is the actual verb, right? All right, you guys are going to do 6 on your own. All right, so let's take a look at 7 now. Ready? I like the way 7 does this. Take a look. Flip it over. Look at how 7 breaks it down. Still talking about auxiliary verbs, but look. Ready? Can, would, and could are talking about someone's ability. Will, might, and may, those are all possibilities. Right? But must and have to, those are requirements. Right, Bo? Then you have should and ought to. Those are suggestions. Right? You should or you ought to read this book. And may, well, you know, that's permission. All right? So let's take a look. You ready? Let's take a look at this number 1. Here's how I want you to do it. I want you to look for subject and predicate first. Well, no, never mind. On these ones, the you is always going to be the subject, right? When it's the second person, you is always the subject. You see what I did there? And then it's got an independent clause to start. Before you wash the dog, comma, you, and then it wants a suggestion. What are 2 auxiliary verbs that are suggestions? Bo. You what? Look at, no, that's a requirement. Look at my color coding up here. Bo, look. Look at this chart. Which one is giving you suggestions? Which 2 words are more huh? Might, that's possible. I think it should be you should. Before you wash your dog, you should change your clothes. That's a suggestion. How about a requirement, Bo? Look. Which one of these are a requirement, Bo? Look. Which one of these are a requirement?
Green.
Okay. Now let's try this. You ready? If you want to be a chef, what would be a good word in there? You, under the green, you must know how to cook. All right? So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and finish doing the rest of these, right? Where'd it go? Right there. All right? I want you to keep filling those out, but I want you to find subject and predicate. And then for the last one, it says, use 2 auxiliary verbs from your rule box to write a sentence, okay? So you're going to make up your own sentence, but you're going to use some auxiliary verbs to do that. Capiche?
Capiche.
All right, there you have it. There's auxiliary verbs 6 and 7. Tadero out.